Hey, what's up, YouTube? Convicts Perspective with your boy Rojo. I already dropped the video earlier, but for some reason it had got put on private, like while it was already going. I don't know how it happened. It's around the computer. So I'm gonna do another one, man, because once you put up a video and then like if it goes private or something, the push is gone. So it's kind of like a dry run. But I was gonna do this one a different time, man. But this is about a story where guards allegedly told other inmates that a certain inmate was one of them funny offenders. And ultimately, he ended up getting killed behind it. And now there's a lawsuit and stuff. So this is a trip, man. Like, if the guards, if this is all alleged so far, but if the guards, tried to put that jacket on somebody and it wasn't true and he ended up getting killed, ooh, man, that's all bad, bro. Anyway, this is from the Sacramento Bee. The title is Lawsuit Over Inmate Death Adds to Scandal Surrounding Guards at California Prison. The mother of a Sacramento area inmate allegedly stabbed to death by 3 other prisoners is suing over his death, claiming in court papers that the guards at California State Prison, Sacramento, were complicit in the slaying and allowed the attackers to make a practice run the week before. The lawsuit, filed Friday in Sacramento Federal Court, is the second to be filed to date over the December 12, 2019 death of inmate Luis Giovanni Aguilar, 29, who was stabbed to death as he sat handcuffed to a chair in a day room at the prison known as New Folsom. Man, bro, being shackled to something that doesn't move, man, and people coming to get you, there is nothing you can do, man. I don't know. I don't like those kind of removals. I think they're kind of a little bit on the soft side, but if it's true that the guards told them that this dude was something he wasn't, which is the worst thing you could be in prison, I get it why they didn't extend him the courtesy of not attacking him while he was totally, that's rough, bro. Anyway, while we have not yet received the lawsuit, CDCR is committed to identifying and responding to any potential safety and security issues throughout the department, including thoroughly reviewing all allegations of staff misconduct and ensuring people are held accountable if allegations about their actions are found to be true, CDCR officials said in a statement. The circumstances surrounding this incident are currently under investigation, so further details cannot be discussed at this time. But the lawsuits are part of a scandal enveloping prison staff at this facility, which has seen 2 whistleblowers die since October of 2020, and is the subject of an FBI probe into allegations of cover-ups and violence against inmates by guards. The latest lawsuit was filed by Ma Rosario Bueno Aguilar, the dead inmate's mother, and names the prison, Warden Jeff Lynch, and other unnamed guards as co-defendants. The allegation closely adhered to an earlier lawsuit filed by Aguilar's minor daughter last October, which stemmed from Sacramento Bee stories about the federal probe into the prison and allegations of wrongdoing by guards there. The new lawsuit says Aguilar was mentally impaired and was serving a 4-year sentence for vehicle theft and attempting to evade an officer when he was brought into a prison day room on the morning of December 12th, 2019, and had his hands and feet cuffed to a chair. 2 other inmates, Cody Taylor and Anthony Rodriguez, were similarly cuffed next to Mr. Aguilar, the lawsuit says. At around 10 a.m., Mr. Aguilar was brutally stabbed by Taylor and Rodriguez while he was handcuffed to the chair and unable to run or escape the danger. Mr. Aguilar died a short time later. 2 sources have told the Bee there is a video of the attack, and the lawsuit says Taylor and Rodriguez were able to remove their restraints and retrieve a weapon from another location on the 2nd floor and return to attack Mr. Aguilar, who remained restrained and cuffed to the chair. Sources have also said there is a separate video that the lawsuit says reveals a practice run a week earlier wherein prison guards, does 1 through 20, observed and or allowed inmates to practice how they would carry out the stabbing including getting out of their restraints. The suit claims guards lied to inmates about Aguilar, falsely telling him that he was a minor offender. Offender has to do with minors, you guys get it. Knowing this would cause him to be targeted for physical assault. The unnamed guards also are accused in the lawsuit of reporting that Aguilar's slaying was gang-related. The suit contends guards had a duty to intervene and to protect Mr. Aguilar from violence at the hands of the inmates who stabbed him. They had a further duty to intervene to stop spreading the false information that he was an offender of the worst kind, to stop the inmates who stabbed him from doing a practice run a week earlier, to stop handcuffing Mr. Aguilar to a chair with two violent inmates, to stop the inmates from releasing themselves from restraints, to stop one of those inmates from going to another location to retrieve a weapon, returning with it, and stabbing Mr. Aguilar, who could not run or escape as he was cuffed to a chair. The earlier lawsuit filed on behalf of Aguilar's daughter in October says he was murdered because the guards viewed him as a problem inmate and sought to make an example of Aguilar by facilitating his murder. Right. Taylor, Rodriguez, and the third inmate, Dion Green, were charged in Aguilar's death. Taylor pleaded no contest in April of 2020 and was sentenced to 102 years. Charges are pending against Rodriguez and Green. The prison also has been the subject of separate allegations of guard misconduct, including claims by inmate Brant Daniel, who is awaiting trial in an Aryan Brotherhood racketeering case, that guards planted a homemade knife in his cell and have harassed him and opened his legal mail. Daniel's attorneys have been fighting to get him moved from the prison to another facility, claiming guards have threatened to kill him. Some of these allegations stem from reports by Sergeant Kevin Steele, an in-house detective at the prison, who warned higher-ups that officers had planted weapons and drugs in cells and falsified documents. Steele had been discussing his allegations with two lawyers suing the prison and was placed on leave earlier this year and banned from the prison. Steele, 56, died in August in Missouri in a case that was ruled a suicide. His death followed the accidental drug overdose death of another whistleblower, Valentino Rodriguez, who was a friend of Steele's and had told him of allegations that other officers were planting drugs and weapons on inmates. Steele and Rodriguez worked together in the prison's investigative services unit, and prison officials say they have replaced all members of the unit since allegations about guards began to surface. Two other guards have also been charged by federal prosecutors in an alleged cover-up involving the death of a 65-year-old inmate in 2016 at the prison. Ashley Marie Aurich pleaded guilty last January to falsifying records and agreed to cooperate with prosecutors investigating the inmate's death. She faces sentencing in January. A second guard, Arturo Pacheco, is accused in court papers of yanking an inmate's legs from under him as he was being escorted in handcuffs in the prison, leading him to crash face first to the floor. The inmate died in a hospital 2 days later. Pacheco faces two counts of deprivation of rights under cover of authority and 2 counts of falsifying records. And his next court hearing is scheduled for February. Okay, so what I don't understand about that last little part right there is if he is accused of yanking his legs out from under him and the inmate died, his actions caused that inmate to die. That's murder. What do you mean, deprivation of rights under color of law and falsifying records? Where's the murder? Where's the voluntary manslaughter? Seems pretty weird to me. If your actions that you do to somebody directly result in them passing away, what else is it? Falsifying records? Come on, man. Like at this point, these are all allegations, man. So, I can't really dig into any of these people, without knowing the outcome, you know what I'm saying? But Man, that's gross, gross, gross negligence, man. You got somebody handcuffed that can't move. Everybody knows people can slip cuffs and shackles and shit like that, man. You got to keep them separate, whether they're good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're lying about this dude being one of those weirdo guys, and that caused him to get booked because they didn't like him and ultimately die, they should be charged with murder as well, if the allegations are found to be true. This is crazy, man. I haven't heard of none of these things, man, but this is ridiculous, bro. You guys don't think, like, yeah, people are doing jail time. Yeah, they messed up, man, but there's a certain way you still got to be able to conduct yourself as a man, as somebody supposedly upholding the law. You know, it's bad being shackled. I hated being shackled, bro. Like, anytime you go to the hole, everywhere you go, you're shackled. You can't do shit. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do if you're attacked. You could try to scoot away, but you only got like a 6 foot stride because the leg restraints. Can't block with your hands. Shit's stuck around your waist. All you can do is go like that, man. They need to figure out better ways to do these things, man. And I straight up, man, if them guards told them people that he did that maliciously, they're complicit in murder. They didn't do the actual act, but having him handcuffed with 2 dudes that supposedly did a practice run earlier, and they were told, obviously falsely, because the newspaper would have known what his real charges is. They would have investigated that before they put out this article. He was in there for vehicle theft and evading the police. So if you're one of them cops that are running around putting a bad word on people's jacket, man, that's not good, bro. They need to go to prison, straight up. And like I said, they're all allegations at this point. I haven't seen nothing to see if they've been found guilty, through trial or whatnot. So, I don't judge nobody until, the final thing is done. But what I do see is, the other case, man, with him slamming the dude on his head from his, cuffed, and he can't block his fall. He died. If I do something to somebody and they die because of something I did, and that was an aggressive action, you know what I mean? It was aggressive. There's no way it's not. It's a murder charge, at the least a manslaughter. I'd have to look up how each one of them is written out to be able to say what I would charge it at, and that would be my opinion. You know what I mean? Only mine. But at the very least, it's not falsifying documents and being mean because you got a badge. Get out of here with that, man. If I did that same thing, if I went up behind somebody and grabbed them by the legs and slammed them on their head and they passed away, I'm not coming home. I'm not going to live to see the end of my sentence, man. So it seems like there's a little corruption, alleged. We call it alleged. We call it what it is at this point, going on right there with some particular officers in that institution. Because we did a story about the one guard who brought light to the problems that were going on there, the crimes being committed allegedly by staff. Took himself out. Another one took himself out. You know what I mean? So there's a problem. I mean, one person makes a claim, this and that. Inmates make claims every day about these situations and they get brushed to the side. But when you got your own officers, your own co-workers that are supposed to be your friends and, associates, and you're on this side and we're on that side kind of thing, and they're saying stuff's wrong, something's wrong. FBI's there. There probably won't be nothing going on for a minute, but you got to set an example. You can't let these people get away. Oh, I was scared because he's an inmate. You find a different job. That doesn't give you the authority to kill people and to lie about the charges that will get you hit. You know what I mean? If that's the reason that them dudes hit that dude, there could be others. You know what I'm saying? There could. Who knows? They should definitely go to prison. They should be charged the same thing. They should be pleading out to 102 years as well, because their actions directly caused the situation that took place. You know, and if that was the reason, with all the phones and things that are available to everybody nowadays inside of the institutions, they should still check the words of them guards, man. You know, if that was the only reason, what if them dudes hit him based solely on that? Now one dude's got 102 years. He thought he was doing the community a favor. He ended up hitting an innocent victim that was targeted by police. And you just did their dirty work for him. And they're going to get off with, oh, well, we're just following procedure. Man, get out of here, man. You know what I mean? Very interesting story. I thought I'd share with you guys, man. Tell me what you guys think about that, man. They should be charged just like anybody else, because you or I would. You know what I'm saying? And they need to do something different about how they restrain people. You know, people can slip cuffs. They should know that. There's dummy cages. Put them in the dummy cage. You know what I mean? Their actions, whether purposefully or indirectly, caused that dude to lose his life because of the way that they were running the show. Whether even if the allegations aren't true, that they didn't say that about him and that was just a fluke thing, gang thing, debt thing, disrespect thing, still, their policies, which had him handcuffed and shackled and unable to flee or try to defend himself, caused him to die. And somebody needs to be held accountable. Straight up. Anyway, little short one, man. Like I said, we dropped a video earlier. You know, it was about some removals in the Monterey County Jail, which actually led to a federal indictment. You know, just regular removals that happen, you know, every week in California somewhere. The feds chose to involve themselves in that one, but like I said, it got put on private somehow. So, you know, basically it's not going to be part of your notifications. You're going to have to look for it. So if you want to check it out, it's another great article, man. That'll just break down as to why the feds are always in your mix. And you got to assume that if you're in this lifestyle. And if the feds aren't in your mix, local gang task forces, local drug task forces. If not, somebody's talking about your business. It's just facts, man. The sooner you realize it, the sooner you'll be able to make the correct decisions in your life. That eventually it's all going to come crumbling down. Your empire is going to achieve, bam, it's going to crash to the earth. It's your boy Rojo, Convicts Perspective. Appreciate you guys, man. Check out that other video for your boy. We had some kind of thing go on. And have a great day. I'll be at y'all tonight on the live. Peace.